Would that take some of the stigma off of this trafficking that goes on, especially among children? It's just a question. And Laura, if you know, please.
Yeah, I agree that, or I don't know if you're saying that it would, or as opposed to just asking, but I do think that it does. So there's the law and then there's culture, right? And they have this symbiotic relationship where, like, when something happens in the law, or there's a change in the law or public policy, that affects culture, like the American culture. Mm-hmm. It can happen in the reverse too, where culture can affect, or culture does affect the law. So basically our morals, our ethics, our beliefs as a society. I forgot where I was going with this, but it was somewhere.
It's fine. It's fine. I think I see what you're talking about. America's biggest problem has always been morality. It has always been morality. We have stigmatized things in society as being morally bad. This is morally bad. And it's based on Judeo-Christian beliefs. It is based on the Puritanism and Calvinism that was brought over from Europe. But
ex-Mormon.
Well, see, there you go.
Bad.
And see, that's the thing. For me,
Laura, for the record, I was 26 years old. 26 before I ever indulged in acts of self-exploration. Now, isn't that sad?
Yikes.
Isn't that completely sad? And I'm teenagers, a 13-year-old daughter and a 15-year-old son. And do you know, if they asked me for anything, I would say yes, gleefully go explore your sexuality.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that's where I was going. Sorry, Thomas, to interrupt.
No,
I think
ahead,
that's
please.
where I was going, is talking about like stigma and the law. The law sets a precedent in terms of what we feel is stigmatizing. So, and you look at weed, for example, weed's journey has been a lot more destigmatized now that it's everywhere. So, yeah.
But see, I even with weed, I'll use weed as an example because we will get to sex work here in a second. But even with weed, the devastation's already been done. It's funny how now you got, I have a dispensary, and they have the little cute names, Fresh and Free Dispensary and CBD and everything. But how many people are sitting in prison because of that? How many people have been criminalized because of marijuana? When you talk about sex work, there are certain places in Vegas, literally, there are certain parts of Vegas that are carved out to where prostitution is legal. But that carving out some places in Vegas isn't going to help a sex worker or a woman work in the streets or a man work in the streets in Detroit. So we still, even when we make a little bit of progress, even when we make a little bit of forward progress, we still end up with, okay, it's 2 feet forward, but we've already literally been pushed back 100. So, and then you get people like Clarence Thomas who, and again, I've said so many horrible things about Clarence Thomas. I will probably say so many more horrible things about Clarence Thomas before my life is over. I don't like the man. I don't like anything about him. But for this guy, for this man to be so hell-bent on pushing women's reproductive rights backwards and being so blatant about it. Because you got to think, when Scalia was alive, Clarence Thomas, he basically was mute. He didn't say anything. He was a mute candidate. He was a mute everything. He just sat there. He said nothing. He voted and did whatever. Scalia was the one who was allowed to be the conservative a-hole. Then Scalia dies. Well, now Clarence Thomas is talking. And when Clarence Thomas is talking, he's worse. Because Alito might have been the person who spearheaded the repeal of Roe v. Wade, but Clarence Thomas is the face of it. Clarence Thomas is the face of Roe v. Wade being appealed. And for him to start grumbling about gay marriage, what two people, because the other aspect that goes along with sex work is what do two people do in their own bedroom? Let's say I'm a single man. I have money. I'm lonely. I'm in a town I don't know, and I'm lonely. I want some. So I call an escort. We negotiate a price on the phone. She comes over. We do whatever it is we gonna do. She gets paid. I get laid. She goes home. Why is that any business of the federal government? Why is it? Because when you break down the whole idea of sex workers, like, I think there should be a union, to be dead ass honest with you. I know it sounds whatever, but yes, there should be a sex worker union, because what a person does with their own body to pay the bills is their business. It is their business. But we don't live in that type of America. We don't. I remember going to Korea and I remember going to Germany. And both times I got a chance to see sex workers. Now, in Korea, they live in little boxes. Well, they're not live in little boxes, but they're in little boxes. And, they try to attract you. You go in, you pay them, whatever. You do whatever, and you leave. Now, because I was in the military, we wasn't allowed to do it. And then it was Germany.
It's obviously a super traumatizing experience. And I later went into sex work, which sex work, not the same as being trafficked, went into sex work as a way to kind of like reframe the narrative of me being trafficked, to kind of like take my power back, I guess. And be like, I'm going to do this now. I'm going to set up the appointments. I'm going to decide who I see or who I don't see,
Well, I mean, no better way to turn a negative into a positive. I have known Laura for, 4 years now? About 4 years?
Yeah, sounds right.
Some of these stories I knew, but some of them I didn't. Like, seriously, I'm telling y'all right now, the shock look you guys might see on my face or you might hear in my voice is because I did not know that. I had no damn idea. Now, I will tell you how stupid my behind is. I just thought one day you were like, I don't like office work. I can't stand the boss. The copy machine doesn't work. The coffee maker's always broken. And if Dan comes by and brushes my ass one more time, I'm going to kill him. You know what? Today's the day. I'm going to get into sex work. I'm serious. I know that sounds funny, but I'm dead serious. I've known Laura for 4 years. I did not know how she got into this. I had no damn idea. Seriously. So that shock sound,
probing questions.
You're supposed to. We've already established that you will. We have already established that you will. Here's the other aspect of it. And this goes directly to, Lauren Boebert there was a rumor, I don't know if it's true, I don't really care because I don't like that woman. But the rumor was that Lauren Boebert was a former escort. And she was a former escort for Ted. Well, she met Ted Cruz. He gave her some money. She became a congresswoman. You have women like that. You have women that run OnlyFans. First off, how do you feel about OnlyFans, Laura? How do you feel about OnlyFans?
How do I feel about what?
OnlyFans.
Oh, I have an OnlyFans that I worked for like a couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. I found it to be so much energy just to get, a little bit of money. And I found it also, I find legal sex work to be a little fake and phony, and to require a whole lot of extra work versus the illegal forms of sex work.
Yeah, but you see a whole lot of guys that want to denigrate women that get involved in sex work, which I'm always like, wait a minute. How are y'all mad? What are you mad about? The other aspect of it, and tell me if I'm wrong, there's a whole lot of men who will denigrate a woman with OnlyFans, but then want to hit on that exact same woman. Where they do that at? How is that possible? How do you wrap your head around the idea that I'm going to shame this woman for being on OnlyFans and getting paid, but then if I see her at the supermarket, I'm going to hit on her?
You know why? Because it's okay for a man to be sexual. It's okay for a man to have sexual needs and wants and desires, but it's not okay for women or people who are not cis men.
Oh, okay. Just for clarification, ladies and gentlemen, there will be the second half of this show. We talking about sex, men, and women. So I need y'all to get ready. We gonna talk, but that's what I find so horrible about the situation today is this idea that it is under a man's control. Because the abortion debate comes down to a woman and her privacy versus what a man thinks. The idea of gay marriage is two people in love versus what a man thinks. The idea of getting rid of contraceptives and denying people contraceptives because of religious beliefs is privacy versus a man's thought process. At every juncture in this situation, men are there. And it's usually, and I know it's going to piss off a lot of people, sorry, but truth is true, white men.
Yeah.
Cis white men. They're the ones. Every conversation has to center themselves on them and their interpretation of the Bible. The puritanical morality that America has to suffer under was started by these white men. You know, some of the worst stereotypes about women, some of the worst stereotypes about women of color were started by these men. So I've got two ladies here, two beautiful ladies. I want to know, I'll give you a scenario. You have the men's world attention, all the men across the world. You have their attention. Whatever you say, they're going to actually do. I know this sounds whatever, but it's true. Okay. I'll start with you, Laura. How do you get men to see things like sex workers, OnlyFans, things of that nature as actual work by using against that morality crap? You are talking to all the men in the world. What do you say to them?
Well, you know, men primarily, I mean, cis men get a lot of personal power, money, all of those things off of subjugating women, right? So it's about taking away, or as a man, being willing to give up some power, being willing to give up some money, you know, being willing to do that for other people's humanity. And it's not about, I mean, sex work is work and all that, but it's about protecting other human beings and the belief that other human beings are worth protecting, that they're people. And, you know, a lot of people don't believe, especially men, I hate to say it, but a lot of men don't believe sex workers are really complete people. And when you work in the field, or I'll just speak for myself, working in the field, I have often felt like I wasn't looked at as a complete person. So I would say I would appeal to men to just ask them to give up some of their privilege. Yeah, and I guess that's what it comes down to is privilege. And I know, the first step to that, I think, in regards to sexism is being aware of your privilege as a man, especially cis men. So, yeah, that's what I would say.
I realize that I have privilege. I don't even try to pretend like I don't. My horny days or my, I gotta get it is celebrated. The hunt for a man is celebrated. You gotta get it, gotta conquer it, have sex with it, and leave. A woman is not, and one of the things that's sad is women are not allowed to have those moments. I think a lot of women look at sex, they like it, they like the act of it, but they do not like the hassle that comes with it. Because you are asking another human being to share intimacy with you. And if you have I've always said men operate on a 3-tier thing. Get along, conquer, kill. That's how men operate. We meet something different. Women, black people, gay folks. We try to get along. Try it. But they'll say something or do something. Oh, shit, I don't like this. Then you got conquer. Okay, now you're going to do what I tell you to do. You're going to do exactly what I say to do. And you're going to do it because I'm a man. Okay, well, it's not going to do that either. Now you got to kill it. And that's where the sexual assaults and stuff like that come in. Victoria, same question. How would you make the men of the world understand that a woman is more than just an object?
Wow. Some are never going to see women as whole human beings.
Of course they're not. Of course.
But the thing is if you're so concerned about a woman choosing to have an abortion, then take responsibility and don't be getting her pregnant. Number 2, for all these cis straight boys, if you're so opposed to homosexuals, then don't be around it. Don't, if it ain't for you, it ain't for you. But how do you convert men to the miserable, suffering existence that is womanhood sometimes? I mean, and listen, I know, Tiger Bomb, single dad, raising his kids. Mm-hmm. Guys like that could convert men. But a million single women saying, he left me high and dry, I get no child support, I get no help, no medical, dental, I'm working 3 jobs, my kids are in daycare. That would just fall on deaf ears. But when you have enough guys who say, hey, look, I'm a single dad, and do you know how bad this is sometimes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've already said I have no sympathy for men when it comes to child support. None. I don't have a single ounce of it. Because if you are bold enough to, hey, can we wear a condom because I don't want to get pregnant? No, it don't feel right. Okay.
Then you know what? You need to go on.
Yeah.
Because we're not having unprotected, unsafe sex. We are not in a committed relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I know it. I personally know how different it feels. I get it. But the answer is no.
And I think with a lot of men, they're only seeing it doesn't feel right, I'm not, the whole pregnancy thing. HIV's still out there. Sorry, it's still out there. Now, there's
herpes, chlamydia, gonorrhea.
There are pills and medicines that will make you undetectable, and I'm glad they are there because I remember AIDS in the beginning. It was ugly. It was not a good time. I still always tell the story of Steve. Steve was the guy that worked at Mr. Z's up the street from our house, and Steve was a gay man, had the greatest porn mustache I ever saw in my life. Steve had AIDS, and the last time I saw Steve alive, he was literally as white as a sheet, and he weighed about maybe 98 pounds and was still trying to work. And about a month later, Steve was gone. I still remember Steve. But those things are still out there. But we have a society that, again, men conquering women is celebrated. Oh, you betted all these women. Look at you, betted all these women. But the woman can't do that. And then you have lawmakers who will regulate a woman's body, but they won't regulate a man's. So, and I always tell this story, maybe I'm wrong. But if a man decides on a Monday, January 1st, he's going for 31 days, he's going to sleep with 10 women a day. At the end of them 31 days, he can have what? 310 children? A woman gets up on a Monday, on January 1st, says, I'm going to sleep with 10 men a day. The best she's getting out of it is pregnant one time. So when lawmakers make laws that affect women's bodies, they are still operating on the old boy idea that male having sex, conquering, that's a good thing. But then you take it just out of the dating realm and put it into women who are sex workers. So if we celebrate the conquerors now, and women, supposedly straight women, supposedly good women or whatever, aren't getting any sort of say in how their bodies are being used, their privacy and things of that nature, they damn sure ain't gonna look for that with sex workers. They're not gonna do it. Laura, am I wrong? Just tell me if I'm wrong with that.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, at least regular quote unquote women, they might acknowledge as human beings. Maybe not with the amount of rights that a man has, but still a human being. Sex workers are subhumans.
Yeah.
And we've always been subhumans.
Which is sad because I know the old joke is, go ahead, Victoria.
So if the world was reversed, right? Mm-hmm. And women were the controlling factor and men were putting their bodies. See, I don't know that I could pay somebody for something so do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not judging anybody who does it, but like, if I could just dial up a stud, I don't know that I could.
Now, wait a minute. Hold on. Here's the thing. I don't think you would need to. Because throughout my life, women have never been hard up for sex. They never have. If women were the dominant species in America, y'all still wouldn't be hard up. Still. If men were having their rights removed and women were getting all these rights, you still would not be hard up for sex. You wouldn't. There would be, if the Supreme Court was filled with 9 female judges, the chief justice is a woman and there's 8 other ones, the legislation that would come out or the judicial rulings that would come out still would not need to be, we need to control a woman's, we got to regulate. It doesn't, because a woman will, I've always said, a woman will never be hard up for sex. Intimacy, yes. Real relationships, yes. Sex workers.
If it's good sex, a woman is addicted.
Addicted, maybe, but not hard up. Never. Yeah.
Baby, you got to come over. You got to come over right now.
Nah. Because the thing is, a woman, look, I've said this. This is a joke, but I've said it. A woman can get up in the morning, not brush her teeth, take a big old dump, fart all over herself, put on the ugliest moo-moo she has.
No.
Underarm odor stinking, breath stinking. She still got crust in her eye. One flip-flop and a combat boot on. Walk down the street. She ain't bathed in a month. Just everything just out here. Just, somebody will try to hit that. There will be a guy going, hey, shawty, come here, girl.
There is magic in the vagine. There is magic in the vagine.
There is. That's why it's that is that.
It is the creation of all, really.
But that's the thing. That's why sex work will never go away. Because all of these high-powered, high-class, I go to church every Sunday.
But it would see it legitimized.
Now, that is where we can actually... Now, that's where an argument can be had. That's where an argument can be had. Legitimize it. That's the problem. That is the problem. If they legalize sex work, we would not be talking about this. After that, it's all about maintenance. Now that we've legalized sex work, we're going to make it a crime punishable by, you start off with 20 years for harming a sex worker, raping a sex worker, taking advantage of a sex worker. 20 years. Boom. You start off there. And it escalates per crime. Hey, you're a sex worker. We're going to get universal health care in here so that you too can, oh man, I got pregnant, or oh man, I had an injury. Please go. What do? I'm a sex worker. All right. They give you health insurance, things of that nature. You would make it safer. But again, Laura, am I wrong? You're the advocate. You are the activist. I'm just some guy. Am I wrong for that? Am I wrong?
No. No, so most sex workers advocate for decriminalization as opposed to legalization. The difference being decriminalization, you remove the penalties for XYZ, but you don't have the same punishments and stuff like legalization, and you don't have to do testing and stuff, which a lot of sex workers find stigmatizing. Mm-hmm. But no, I don't think you're wrong at all.
See that again, we are burdened. America is burdened by our, evangelical, puritanical lords and masters, because we don't get it. Like conversations like that, we can't have. Can you imagine? Let's say, because it all comes from the church. So let's say there's a sex positive preacher. He's like, hey, sex work is work. In my church, sex workers are welcome. He starts a movement to decriminalize sex work. There's going to be some problems. Somebody's going to have an issue with that. Somebody's going to have an issue with that. But why? Why? Because all of these things that are going on with the Supreme Court and I always say it's women's privacy. It all comes down to women's privacies. Same thing with gay marriage and gay relationships. That's none of my business. That's none of your business. That's none of the Supreme Court's business. That's none of the U.S. Senate or the U.S. Congress. That's none of their business. It always comes down to privacy. What you choose to do with your body should be your choice.
Well, and this is where sex workers come in, because we've been talking about this in the sex worker community for so many years, because we keep getting all of these policies against us that are taking away our privacy. Mm-hmm. So we've been telling the American public, like, they're just coming for us now, but they're going to be coming for you.
Yes.
And decriminalization, is so beneficial because, I was sexually assaulted a couple years ago when I was doing full service sex work. And I had to think, okay, do I go? Because of my own personal beliefs, I didn't want to go to the police, and I couldn't have gone to the police anyways. So I can't go to the police even if I wanted to. If I go to the hospital, they're going to ask me what happened, and I guess I could lie, but I didn't feel comfortable lying. But what if I tell them the truth? And what if they call the police, or what if, like all these things you have to think of. So I could have gotten, like the morning after pill and stuff, but I just ended up not getting it and just like hoping that I would be okay, because I couldn't. And that's what criminalization does. It prevents people from getting help when there is a problem.
Yeah, but they don't seem to have a problem.
Throughout this show, I've thought about the Green River Killer, Gary Ridgway.
Yeah, Ridgway.
And like you see these shows all the time. Well, nobody cares that a hooker got murdered. Yeah, that's somebody's daughter. That's somebody's sister, cousin, mother. But Gary, but it's funny to me how many people have sexual hang-ups and turn to like Gary Ridgway, BTK, who was the other one, the clown with the boys.
John Wayne Gacy.
Yes. But see, I think we need to, now I'm not talking full on hedonism and perversion, but just like, let me give you an example. There are people in the Mormon church that are straight up freaks. And then you have a man and a woman who refuse to get divorced, who sit on opposite ends of the pew. And the tension is so thick between the 3 feet between this man and his wife. But people, America, like, moralizes sexuality. And like in Europe, sexuality is very open, very free, very liberated. But what's different is like, we have all this violence on TV, which you don't see in Europe, but you'll see like sex. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because America has normalized violence and turned sex into some sort of a perversion, whereas in Europe,
but everybody's having sex except for me.
And me.
Yeah, but
I'm not messing with either one of you.
They sit there and they talk about these escorts and down with homosexuality. You're all going to hell, but you're up there in DC. And you got your little Grindr account, and then your little Grindr boyfriend comes out and tells us and shows us all the pictures.
Like,
come forward with it.
I've been saying all along, Lindsey.
Yeah, I mean, the hypocrisy.
Like I said, Lindsey Graham is the biggest example of that. Lindsey Graham is the biggest example of American hypocrisy walking and breathing today. That man is a gay man. I don't have a problem with him being a gay man. Be a gay man. But he is the most repressed gay human being I have ever seen in my entire life. He is so repressed. He keeps trying to pretend like don't nobody notice that the closet he's in is made out of glass. It's a peep show, dog. There's lights on you. Okay? It's a strobe light. We see your ass in there dancing. Come out the closet, Lindsey. Golly. But as long as he'll fight for a guy like Brett Kavanaugh, who had a accusation of sexual assault, but still got on the Supreme Court. He'll advocate for Clarence Thomas, who had sexual harassment charges brought about against him, put him on the Supreme Court. Lindsey Graham is America's sexual problem in one human being. Lindsey Graham. He walks around trying to pretend like don't nobody notice that you are gay. Nobody cares that you're gay. Be gay, but stop being repressive about it. I can be gay. I can order all the escorts, but heaven forbid a woman she's like, look, I make more money doing this thing. I have more fun. It's safer for me. And I'm able to pay my bills and take care of my kids by doing this. People like Lindsey Graham are like, nah, you can't do that. Like, But he is America. He is America's problem and hang up with sex. He is. Like,
I've got a great friend on TikTok who has spina bifida, in a wheelchair, fully disabled, and has an OnlyFans. Does a few little things on the side to make extra income. Now, how effing sad, and I emphasize the effing, that a disabled person in America has to supplement their income however they can. And she just happens to be very hot, so she's using it to her advantage. And then we will sit there and condemn them for trying to make an honest living.
Yeah.
You feel?
I mean, on disability, you only make on average like $700 and something. Who can live on $700 a month? I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe somewhere in America, but
no.
and then
drugs that you take and all your doctor's appointments, and then you have to have cash because you don't have a vehicle. I mean, how you gonna drive? You're in a wheelchair because the government doesn't supply you with that. See, that have a real issue just supplying the wheelchair.
But again, that is America, though.
That's America.
In a nutshell, the reason European countries have they never criminalize sex in the first place is because sex is a natural act. It's natural. Whereas in America, we got to hide it. Don't let our kids near it. Our children might see it. Oh, Lord. But we don't have a problem selling them a JR-15, which is a junior version of the AR-15. We don't got no problem. No problem whatsoever. We are ass backwards. America is ass backwards. We criminalize sex. We criminalize sex workers. We interrupt the privacy a woman should have in her bedroom or her doctor's office. We interrupt the privacy that two gay people should have in their marriage or in their doctor's office. But we don't have a problem putting a gun everywhere. And the fetishization, I hate that word. I can't really say it. The fetishization of guns in this country is almost as perverse as people try to make sex out to be. Mm-hmm. You've seen, tell me, and I know both of y'all have, tell me some of the weirdest, y'all have seen some horrible pictures. The white guy with the mullet laying on his bed and on his bed with all of his weapons there. He's wearing a thong, no shirt on, and he's got AR-15s and weapons all over the bed. That's America. That is America. And then when you have our lawmakers who are perfectly okay, you know, how many congressmen, they did I think it was Sam B that did it, a show where they talked about how many Congress people had their mistresses getting abortions. The one I remember the most is Scott DeJarle. He was a doctor. He had a wife and a mistress. Mistress got pregnant not once but twice, and he had to go get 2 abortions. So the powers that be, our lawmakers, our justices and stuff, they're okay with passing laws that affect everybody. But they're also okay with skirting those laws the way they want to. So we end up with this hodgepodge of, I don't even really know what to call it. You know, we fetishize guns, sex, we can't talk about. We will tell a woman, hey, you better make them babies. You better hold on to them babies. You better take care of them babies. We're not changing the child support laws. And again, I don't feel sorry for nobody that has to pay child support. Sorry, I did. They treated me like bin Laden. I paid it for 18 years. I don't want to hear it. But where do y'all see the future of this? We're starting with you, Victoria. Where do you see America going after this? Because like I said, Clarence Thomas has already said he wants to revisit women's contraceptives. Where do you think they're going to go with after this?
Well, I think there's a collective of women that are just going to shut down the hoo-ha. until men crawl through broken glass on live TV and relinquish all power to the goddessness that is women. See, and y'all have had the patriarchy long enough. And y'all can jack shit with it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Time for the matriarchy.
Golly, you said that.
I said that with my whole chest. Stop giving up your cookies to these men who don't vote for your best interest. Period. Go buy a toy. Let men deal with men. And then they can figure out who the woman in the relationship is. And they can figure it out and go live on the island of misfit chromosomes.
Okay. I was just about to say that. Laura, same question. Where do you see, because if they'll go this far, where do you see them stopping?
Yeah, that's what scares me, honestly. And I've had this feeling of just awful impending doom since Trump got elected. And I don't know, I felt like something like this was coming, and because Trump got to put in so many people in SCOTUS, I feel like, it is happening.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I don't see an end to it, honestly, until the world is like a Handmaid's Tale. And maybe that might not even be far enough.
I always say that I don't see Gilead. I don't see the Handmaid's Tale. What I do see is a new renaissance of the slave mentality. I don't think that they're going to have poor women having babies for rich folks. I do, however, think that they're going to make it to where women have become property. Women are going to be wholly owned by their husbands and their spouses. If you're gay, you better keep that in the closet. Like, not just any closet. You better pull a John Wick, put it in a closet, put it underneath concrete, and pour concrete over the top of it, only to be used when necessary. And I think they're going back to that idea that women become property. I always thought that The Handmaid's Tale, as much as everybody talks about it, I always thought it wasn't big enough. We might be at Handmaid's Tale now. When 6 justices can tell a woman, hey, I know there was a rape or an incest or what have you, and you're pregnant, but we don't care. You're going to carry that baby because that baby's a gift from God. I think we might be at Handmaids now, but I think the end game is to make it where women literally have no control whatsoever. Like, y'all don't even get a chance to tell anybody no.
You know that a war would come. A war is coming.
Of course it would.
War is coming. And if you think these delicate little women can't be, and my personal recent stuff, these delicate little flowers are vicious piranhas. Don't try it.
And that's the thing.
Just because you make it into law does not mean that abortions are going to stop. It means safe abortions. But there's already a collective and a network of people helping people get to where they need to go to do what they need to do.
Of course.
Because, because
adversity is the mother of invention.
Does not need to be this involved. You need to be involved in education and the infrastructure of this country and the literacy and where we rank among other nations in intelligence. We need to work on those kind of who I'm janking in the back room of the bar ain't your business.
With that, we are coming up to the top of the hour. This is The Villain's View. My name is Thomas Bishop. I am known as The Villain. I am joined by Victoria. Joker had to log off. He took a long travel trip. He is getting some rest. Go to sleep, Joker. We know you need it. And we also joined by our very special guest, Miss Laura Lemoon, accomplished author, activist, and sex worker. So, second half of the show, we're going to talk about something that we were just talking about before we came on air, and that is what in the actual hell is wrong with men. Now, I'm the only man on the panel. Only man on the panel now. So if you guys think I'm going to, maintain your misogyny, wrong show. Check back next week or never. But we are going to get into this. And I couldn't think of two better people to do it with. Maybe my wife would have been the other one. My wife is very blunt about her thinking about men.
But can you handle all three of us at once? That's my question.
You have no idea. Anyway, so we were talking before we came on the air about this alpha man mentality and how it is ruining intimacy. And I will start off with, I made a whole TikTok playlist. You can go back and look at it. It's called The Death of Seduction. I am an old school practitioner of the art of seduction. And one of the things that I'm so heartbroken about is that there are not enough men doing it anymore. But on the other end, we have two women who have to now navigate in 2022 manliness. And it's horrible. I couldn't be you guys. I promise you. There's no way I could be a woman in 2022. I can't do it. Because men suck. They do.
It doesn't matter when you're online dating, whether you're the 20 to 30, the 30 to 40, or the 40 to 50. Even I shouldn't even talk about other older people who are out there on our time. It sucks across the board.
Yeah, they do. And that is
a full body picture. How big are your boobs? You have sex on the first date? Dude!
Can you send a picture where you're going like this so I can verify it's you?
Oh my God. I will say honestly, and I'm only saying this as a guy. The internet, social media, porn, and men's inability to be anything other than what they project out to the world has destroyed dating, intimacy, sex, whatever you want to call it. I get to watch this devastation in real time. I'm going, what are y'all doing? We taught you better than this. What is this? There used to be a time, and I even listed them out. There were seductive techniques that worked, but they only worked in human form, in face-to-face. You flashing your money on an Instagram is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. It's the dumbest.
Even in person, that's not impressive.
But see, that's the thing. Let me tell you how they worked. The goal wasn't to flash and throw money at you. The goal was to buy your drinks. You started off by saying, what is she drinking? Send her one of those for me. Oh, this is complimented a guy over there at the bar. He waved. And the conversation started. I was funny guy. I was always funny guy because, I had money, but whatever. I'm funny dude. Plus, I go after I am the plus size man.
He had that support payment.
What?
Remember that?
I had what? What'd you say?
The child support payment that you keep reminding people about.
Yes. I did have child support. But anyway, I was funny man. Okay? I made you laugh. I made you kind of relax. You go, man, this dude is so funny. I'm going to give him some tonight. And you knew with funny guy, I wasn't going, oh my God, I want to take you. I'm funny guy. I'm not trying to choke you to death. There was car key guy. You had a nice Benz, nice Cadillac, nice BMW, whatever. You talked with your keys. You kept ringing the ring. I practice it. I know how to do it now. See? Oh, girl, so what are you doing tonight? You coming back with me? Oh my God. Oh, yeah. Oh, these, yeah, this keys my Benz. There was car key guy. There was the smooth the smooth poet guy. He was down there barefoot, walking around in all that white linen.
The audacity to ask why I want to be a recluse.
Yeah, because these guys are dead now. Not dead, but the art is dead.
But the cookie cutter archetype of these guys exists. Now, listen, I'm not saying that there is not a decent human being out there, but I'm too old and tired at this point in my life. I just want to relax and do edible TikTok and bake cookies and dog biscuits. I'm not out here trying to find a needle in a haystack. Now, to answer your question, when you start at the top of the hour, where does this alpha man come from and why do we think we have the power? You think because you have that little boner in your britches. And I don't care if you've got a bigger boner in your britches.
Mm-hmm.
Big deal. But I can buy that. I don't need your BS.
But that's the thing.
What are you actually offering me? Because if that is all you are offering me, no.
But you can get that anywhere.
Yeah.
You can. But let me
have a vagina. I have a vagina and a skill set. I don't need you.
I've been saying that. Women don't need men. Because that's what it comes down to. Men in 2022 want to be needed. When I was coming up, we just wanted to be wanted.
I want to be appreciated. And then at the end of the day, I want him to grab a fistful of my hair and shove me up that wall and have his way with me. And he can be all dominant and alpha man if he wants to. In fact, we can switch if he wants me to be the alpha man. I'll be the alpha man.
Oh! She went there. No, look.
Yes, Penny.
But that's the thing. We had to get you interested in us. The seduction techniques were not the only thing we had. That was the opening. It's kind of like your opening argument. Yes, there's seduction techniques. But after that, you had to have something behind that. And no, you couldn't just put on a pair of gray sweatpants and your meat swing around. You had to have something. There had to be more to you. There had to be substance. Listen to the
gray sweatpants season is coming up.
Yeah,
it is. But you know what? As much as I want to participate, number one, I don't go there. I go there. So there's that. Secondly, why? There are some really dumb men that are very well endowed. Why would you talk to them? Like, have you ever had sex with a bag of concrete? That's what it sounds. That's what it feels like. Just the muscles. You know, the men today bastardized what the seduction practitioners did back in the day. We wanted to be wanted. We were out here going, please want me. Do you want me? Please, you want me? Now they're like, if a woman don't need me, I'm gone. What are you talking? How did this happen?
Rod stirred in my head. If you want my body.
Thank you. Rod told y'all. He's like, if you want my body and you think I'm sexy, come on, sugar, let me know. Now,
yeah, I don't have a problem letting you know.
But men don't want that now. Now they went past want to need. Not realizing to be wanted is better. But they're afraid because they know, okay, she wants me tonight. Tomorrow, yeah, your feet stink. It smells like corn chips and booty holes in here. I don't even want you around. You got to go. You know, the guy that you were talking to that lives upstairs, he babes. This guy that you wanted for one night, he took off his shoes and there's, it's hammer time in the shoe. It's corn chips, not even the chili cheese ones. It's just corn chips.
It's Chernobyl going off over there.
I'm just saying, yeah. And then he farts. Like, you don't want that for a week. You might want that for an hour or so. Like, yo, man, this was great, but you got to get out of here. But men want to be needed. There is the delineation. When men stopped wanting to be wanted and started wanting to be needed, that's where everything went to hell. That's when everything went to hell. That's when the Instagram post and the Snapchat post, that's when they became important. Hey, see me, look at all these muscles. Oh my God, look at the ripple. I'm rippling. You need this. No. What are you talking about? So then guys like myself go, what are y'all doing? Why are you out here in them gray sweatpants, semi-wood, meat just swinging? What are you doing? Oh, she gonna need this. No, she's not. She don't care how big it is. Is there a man behind her, or is it just a bag of veins? What is this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what? And I know I'm wrong. That's why I'm asking y'all, am I wrong for this?
No, I mean, like, I look at those gray sweatpant videos. I duet some of them quite often. And I am like, yes. I did one the other day of a girl doing that dance. Anyway, I can't dance, but anyway. And she is divine, Thomas. Oh, my. She's a goddess. Just a goddess.
Which one?
I don't know her name, but she's this beautiful black woman in a little midriff dancing, and she is it, everything. But I look at those videos and I'm like, But yeah, I mean, like for 30 seconds, I lust after, and I think, whoo, wouldn't that be nice? But then, reality. Sex for sex isn't going to do it for me. I need more.
And that's where it went wrong.
Somebody. I want somebody to need me. And I want somebody who is my friend and my lover and my criminal at arms, the one who aids in me.
Oh, you're talking about an accomplice.
Yeah, my accomplice. Yeah.
That's where they went wrong. When men stopped that. Because again, a woman wanting you back in the day, at least when I was growing up, that was a compliment. But they would tell you, okay, you got to the league. Okay, rookie, you got to the league. They like your skills. What else do you have in your game? You couldn't just keep dunking all the damn time. You had to, oh my God, do you have any defense? So you had to be more. You had to entice a woman's brain. Like, funny guy. Yeah, I'm funny, but then I had to get something behind it. They go, okay, what else? What are your other interests? Well, I'm into politics, and we get to talking about politics. Oh, you might find some woman who's really politically savvy. That's some great sex. Y'all done sat here and talked about something. Y'all done been so passionate. Tear your clothes off. Money guy. Okay, great, fantastic. Now she wants you because you've been money guy all night. What you got behind it? Well, I actually do investments, and I could help you out with your credit. And you help her, you take, donate here or there, or whatever. Oh my God, he helped me get my credit straight. I went from a 480 to 720. Rip your clothes off. Sex. The muscle guy. Okay, she wants you. Your ass is out here rippling. You tearing out shirts. You just swole for no reason. What else you got? Hey, girl, I'm gonna help you get yourself in shape because I know you wanna drop a couple of pounds, but you wanna still be toned and fit. So now you out there running and you guys are lifting weights and oh my God, tear your clothes off. Sex. Now, 2022, you get all of that with nothing else behind it. Nothing. A money guy. Okay, you have sex with money guy one time. You gotta go. You need here's $20 for an Uber.
I'm going to say it. I think with this, I call it the Happy Meal hypothesis, okay? You order a Happy Meal, you eat it, you consume it, and you throw it away. And I think our relationships are very much like this. Not so much since the 80s when I came, but the time after. And I don't know how young people are doing it. Like I have 30-year-old nieces, and this idea of long term. They've got a few friends that have gotten married, but like these, nothing is permanent anymore. Do you? I'm saying
it's the microwave love affair.
Yeah, it's and I call, and the other one I have is the Romeo Rolodex guys. You hook up with them on Tinder, whatever, Plenty of Fish, and y'all swap numbers and you're talking and it's hot and heavy and it's, do you get this too, Laura? And you're good for a minute. And then like a year later, you get a text from somebody and he's like, hey, this is Bob. Bob here in Charlotte. We talked a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get this?
Yes, I do. I get guys from like 2 years ago, and we didn't even do anything. And they're like, "Do you remember me?"
I'm like, I'm happily married now. Goodbye.
Yeah, like yeah. That, but again, that's
I'm dead.
My back.
I'm sorry, I died.
Yeah, I'm crippled from the chest down. I can't really do anything. I don't feel anything. It's, yeah. But that's the microwave love now. This is why men feel like they need to be needed. And I've heard some of the stupidest arguments for why men feel like women need them. And it makes me laugh. I know I'm not supposed to because I'm not the target audience, but I'm laughing. Oh, well, women live off of men's compliments. Excusez-moi? What? When the hell when is the last time any man, better yet, I'll ask y'all both, when's the last time y'all ever gave up some panties for a compliment? Somebody walk past you, Laura, and go, hey, great ass. When did that ever happen?
I'm trying to think of when is the last time I got a compliment. I drive everywhere here, and I can't.
Same kayak. I couldn't.
No, and it makes.
I'll tell you a compliment, but it was kind of backhanded.
Oh Lord, here we go. I need this one.
Your date with Clark. I finally met this guy after 2 years, Laura, of screwing around.
Mm-hmm.
The guy nearly died. Anyway, he had a triple bypass and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'll give it a second chance. And then he heals and he becomes this little workaholic self again. And I understand him, okay? And he understands me to a degree. But I think my life is too messy for him. And I get that. It's too messy for me too. But we go out on this date and he says, I hate that you shaved your head. You shaved your head. He said, but you know what? He said, it makes you focus on how beautiful your face is. And
that's so effed up.
I know, but like I hate my hair too, but I'm gonna let it grow back out. But anyway, it's summertime, honey. It's hot.
Wait a minute.
It's hot.
Like just the thought that he thinks it's appropriate to comment on your looks at all, like he has the authority to decide whether or not you're beautiful or whatever.
Like, okay, so I started working from home at the beginning of April. I don't leave my house.
She really don't.
Oh, wait. You lose her?
She don't. She's not lying. She doesn't leave.
Did we lie her? Did we lose her?
No, we didn't. She's right there. I'm listening to her.
I'm here.
I don't know what I was. My screen flipped and I could just see me and you.
Oh, okay.
Where was I?
That you don't leave your house.
Yeah, like I don't leave my house. I have no interest in dating. But here's the thing, and I'm a nurse too. COVID messed me up mentally, and 4 years of Trump, and then this divide and how close people were. And here I'm supposed to come take care of your ass, but yet you can't even go get a vax when we had the vax. You didn't care enough about me, and now of course we see nursing shortages everywhere. But I'm just done. Mentally, I'm just done.
And I think that's
I I feel spent enough by society, honestly, right now. And especially after Roe, it's just kind of like, ew. You know, I've seen like memes that are jokes like, oh, we're going to have a sex boycott or whatever. And I'm kind of with that. At least for men.
Men had to go blue. If men had to go blue down there, and we stood hands across America, say, cannot have it. You cannot have it until we have equal rights.
But here's the thing.
Give it 6 months and they would be kowtowing.
But here's the thing. The other aspect of it is these horrible men with these horrible takes are getting their marching orders from somewhere. There are some women with really low self-esteem that will be talked into having sex with a goofball. They will. And then what I always found like annoying is that the goofball who has nothing, nothing going on in his life. He is just lame, completely lame. Is standing next to people like myself. Yeah, we out here getting it. No, we aren't getting anything. I'm married, and you pressure the person with low self-esteem to have sex with you. We're not the same, fam. We're not. We're not even, like right now, we're not even talking the same language. Because, again, I always thought women should have a sex strike. But then I was told by other women there would be sexual assaults would go up and sexual violence would go up.
You know, what if we flipped that script too? What if women just became vigilante gang rapists? Like, now hear me out. Hear me out.
Be more careful.
Hear me out.
Did you say that out loud on the camera?
Yeah. A gang of women, like 5 women. Because, yeah, I know you're strong and muscular, but do you think you could fight off 5 women? And once we get you down and we let you feel the shame and humiliation and the powerlessness, and if women started doing this across the country, how quickly SA laws would change? You think I couldn't peg the shit out of you and make it hurt?
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying.
I'm sorry.
If women flipped the script, it would be a different story.
Listen, I'm not laughing at you. I'm not. I'm laughing at the image because, again, I have one of those imaginations. You say something,
I know.
Just a bunch of vigilante women just out there just pegging.
But how long would we live in this rape culture? Where I would not fare well in prison, Thomas. I wouldn't fare well, so the judge lets me out. How long would we have a rape culture if women became the predators?
Because
mind you, we're delicate little flowers. A woman cannot overpower a man like y'all can, unless we tase you. I thought this stuff out. I have a lot of dark thoughts. I'm not ashamed.
You are not lying. You are out here advocating. I'm sorry. Look. Because there's a lot of people gonna be like, you're laughing at sexual assault. I'm not.
Women, and we do it. I'm saying this war is coming because women want their autonomy over their damn bodies.
They do, but the very first thing before you start with the vigilante, ticket in the butt peg squad, I need you to understand something. Before we get Victoria said this out loud, y'all. I can't.
My point was we live in a rape culture, and if women became the predators, how quickly these guys would change the laws. And because they would protect themselves.
Y'all would have to go after, like, listen, I don't do that. I just don't want to be the guy out there, all of a sudden I hear like the theme music from Wonder Woman and all of a sudden I'm just down on my stomach with like six women holding on to me. Yeah, 6 women holding on to me. And look, I ain't the doing to do it. Look, y'all get them other ones.
We'll get it started.
Look, No, because I don't want to be that one. I don't want.
I'm kidding.
No, you're not. No, you're not. And that's the crazy part. You're not kidding. You're not kidding. And listen, I'm not laughing at sexual assault. I'm not. I am only laughing at the visual of vigilante women, Wonder Woman theme music playing, and attack. I'm laughing at that. I'm laughing at that. I ain't laughing at sexual assault because it's a funny thing.
I understand though, because I mean, your point is like, what's good for the goose is not good for the gander. You know, it's totally okay for men to operate this specific way, but if women were to do it, then how much of a problem would that be, real quick?
And that the other aspect of that is, when did that become an option? When I was growing up, the stereotype was black men lust after white women, so we just gonna take it. We hide in the alley. Come here, white woman. We're gonna get you. So I was like, first and foremost, my mother would have killed me. My mother would have slaughtered me wherever she found me. She used to tell me all the time, if you get arrested for murder, drug dealing, or rape, I'm leaving you right where your ass is. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna, But nowadays, men really honestly are trying to debate as if that's something that we should be able to do. Who does that? Like,
when did it become debatable that like women are human beings? That's a good question.
It always, because especially like TikTok, for example, after the
weaker sex,
women are not the. I don't think women are the weaker sex.
Is it weaker because I can't take you down?
I think that's what it is. But I'll give you an example. All over TikTok, after Roe was repealed, there were so many women saying, you know what? That's it. I'm not doing it no more. Shutting all of this down. And you would see guys literally saying, well, don't be mad if we take it. How did you escalate there? How did you see a video where a woman is saying we should shut it down until we get our rights to our own bodies back? And you see guys making videos. They are sitting in front of their camera going, don't be mad when we take it. They watch it. They say, this is a good take. And then they post it. Who does that? What the hell kind of crap? What is that?
Are there really videos of that? I haven't seen that.
Yes.
Oh my God.
There were men literally saying that to deny a man sex in a marriage, in a relationship, is violent. And don't be surprised when men are violent back. I almost dropped my phone in the toilet. I'm like, bro, I don't want to play no more. I don't want to be here no more.
And
when was sex an entitlement?
I know. And now they get to choose the mothers of their children.
Yep. Because the other aspect of this is, and it all goes back to this idea of no accountability to the man. It all goes back to that. And it makes men like myself odd, because we're talking for more accountability for men. And a lot of women say, thank you for standing up for women. I'm not standing up for women. I'm standing up for what is right. You're not going to sit and make a woman have a baby. Make her carry a baby. Give her no resources once this child is born. And let the father just skate out. Right is right and wrong is wrong. So for me, it goes beyond the idea of pettiness. I pay child support, things of that nature. Right is wrong and wrong is wrong. No woman gets pregnant by herself unless she goes. Even a woman that goes to a sperm bank still uses the sauce.
Out these out there that think we control our periods.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I haven't heard that. That's horrifying.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. You can stop the belief. You can make it stop.
Oh, my God. Yeah, don't you think we would have done that already, moron?
Marsha Blackburn said that. She literally said that in front of a camera. Well, women have a way to control their menstrual cycles. They can just shut it off. I'm like, Marsha, whatever you're doing with that Aquanet and that hair, I'm gonna need you to never do it again. Don't you spray another ounce of that crap in your hair ever again. You said that out loud in front of people. Like, you should have just walked away after that one. Like, and I don't mean walk away from the camera. I'm talking about walk away from the planet. Just go on walkabout. Wherever you're standing, just walk east. And then when you hit the water, keep walking. You can't say no. But that, you see men, I did a TikTok about this. Women doing tweets about what they believe, what men believe goes on when it comes to a woman's body. Some of the stupidest tweets. The most calm one was a guy saying he couldn't have sex with his girlfriend while she was pregnant because he might get her pregnant again or kill the baby. He said this. Now, that's the tamest dumb one. But the rest of them just get dumber and dumb.
As an OR nurse, reimplanting the ectopic pregnancy is the one that blows my mind. And y'all in Ohio, if you hear my voice, stop putting these idiots in office.
That one?
You cannot reimplant an ectopic pregnancy, period.
You can't.
You can't.
Again, this is what happens when men who don't know what they're talking about have power and microphones and cameras. They can just say whatever they want. Oh, well, we can take that ectopic pregnancy and put it back in you because, it's God's will right there. It's an ectopic pregnancy. You idiot. What are you talking about?
The only thing I can liken this to, you men, to compare is when the testicle twist, that's called torsion. Mm-hmm. That is a medical emergency. As queen of the OR, that's a medical emergency because we got to save that testicle. You've got to. But an ectopic pregnancy is a life-threatening. It can kill the woman.
But again,
the baby's not viable. It's never gonna,
But that's what I'm talking about. Men say things
from the education standpoint.
We failed spectacularly
on a number of levels.
We allow men to say things about a woman's reproductive organs and a reproductive cycle and a reproductive system that don't make no damn sense. Like, seriously, the idea that a woman can shut down a pregnancy if it's a legitimate rape. Remember Mr. Legitimate Rape? He died. I don't care. He was an a-hole. But he was like, if it's a legitimate rape, the women have a way of shutting it all the way down. Why would you?
How?
Todd Aiken. That's his name. Todd Aiken.
What mechanism?
There was a woman who said that they have things in the hospital called rape kits, and they can clean a woman out.
That is just a big cotton swab that they take a seminal fluid sample. That's a rape kit is to send the DNA off. Jesus Christ.
But again, these are elected leaders. There are men walking around here that believe that. Why would y'all sleep with them? Why would you sleep with a man who literally will tell you,
I'm not doing 4 more years of Trump.
I'm not doing 4 more.
Oh, God.
I can't do it. I will
swallow a bottle of poison.
No, you will not.
Yes, I will.
We'll fight through it together, but you ain't dying like that.
I'm going to marry a European or a Canadian or anybody else.
We need to leave the country.
I tell you right now, but this is the quality of masculinity in America. And I ask again, why would women not want to just shut it down? Like, seriously, y'all don't get foot rubs and back massages that don't lead in sex.
Some women do.
Really? Who? Not me ever.
Some women have men that spoil them rotten, and they're just right. they wake up in the morning and their cup of coffee's ready for them.
Oh my God.
But
I would die. I would die.
Is it better to be a kept woman than it is to be, because that's a kept woman. That is what you call a kept woman.
But I think when you truly care about people, you do little things to make them happy.
Yeah, that's true.
You do.
And you say, I wouldn't call it being kept, but you spoil each other. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, I could say, well, how do you spoil your wife? How does she spoil you? And it's not the sexual stuff. I mean, it could be every morning I wake up to this. Okay. And that's how she keeps you happy. Okay. How do you keep her happy? I make her breakfast every morning before she goes to work. And there are many people like this. My stepdad did that for my mom.
I just think a lot of men have become lazy. They want the payoff without doing any of the work. And,
yeah, exactly.
And we live in a society that tells them that that's all you have to do. You have to put in minimum effort, and you're supposed to get maximum ass. Who does that? In my entire life, when I wanted something, I had to work at it. I had to. There was no shortcut to that.
I don't care who you are, honey. Marriage is not easy.
No, it isn't.
Marriage is not easy. And over, how long? You said 20 years?
I've been with my wife for 20 years. We've been married for 15.
Okay. So total of 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
If I set both of you all down and I gave you all the same questionnaire, we would have different answers. But over that 20 years, there have been some rough years.
Yes.
But somehow y'all dug deep because you really mattered to each other and you got through it.
She's my best friend.
Marriage, yeah, takes work. A good friendship takes work.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. Men don't. When you're dealing with the male ego, I've always said men are 99% ego, 1% little boy. If a woman can touch the heart of that little boy, you have that man forever. Unfortunately, you got to wade through some crap. The male ego is a gloriously disgusting thing to look at. It is as big as a house, as small as a soap bubble. It looks tough on the outside. It is fragile. It can kill you, and it can also blow in your face and smell like a fart. But the little boy is the thing that matters. If a woman can touch a little boy, that little boy past all of that ego, that man is with that woman for the rest of her life. Through thick, through thin, it does not matter. If he cheats, he's sorry. If she cheats, he's sorry. You know what I mean? Like, you have to get past that ego, though. And what I see nowadays is the American male ego has run amok. We got dudes out here. I've said it all along, and our Jankies are happening this year, which is basically the Eat a Jank award. But that is one of the biggest problems in America today. Men with podcasts and cameras and microphones giving the worst takes ever to women. Like, wait. And then I don't even want to know what goes on dating sites. I just don't. Tinder, Bumble, wherever. I couldn't navigate. I don't know how y'all navigate it. Laura, how do you navigate that? Seriously.
Well, I don't right now. I'm in kind of like my last foray into sex was so just awful and disappointing and blah that it was boring, frankly, which is like the worst kind of sex to me.
Yeah.
Like when it's like, this is so boring. Go away already. So honestly, all my apps are set to women right now and people who aren't cis men because I'm just like over it. You know, cis men aren't interesting. They don't have anything to talk about. It's like how's your day? You know, or something like that, or good, or I don't know. It's just boring.
The reason cis men.
Can I answer for me?
Yes, please, Victoria.
I don't have one dating app on my phone. Not one.
Seriously?
Not one.
Wow. So even if okay.
And I can't even check the fetish website because I don't remember my password.
Oops.
How you lose your password? It's supposed to save in your phone or whatever you're using.
No.
Mine's still saved in my phone. I can go there whenever I want. I normally don't because it's just boring. I think a lot of it, like it. I think COVID did a lot for us, but it also did a lot to us. COVID exposed a whole lot of people's game.
It showed me how awful people are.
Yes.
And I just don't want to deal with people anymore.
You all the lifestyle parties and the casual hookups and that COVID happened. You can call COVID whatever you want, but I think it was a truth teller. It really was, because a lot of people got exposed. There's a lot of people I don't even want to be in the room with them anymore. I don't. Like, I never, ever need to be in a room with them ever again. And thanks to COVID, I don't have to. There are some people who I genuinely, truly miss, would love to sit down and have a conversation with them, intimacy, things of that nature. But there are some people that when COVID happened, and then you saw how they was moving afterwards, there was a little bit of like, you still out here like that? You still out here doing them things? Like, this is a bit sick, dude. Like, the hell is wrong with you? You're like, I'm good. Stay over there. COVID kind of shut down people's mentalities when it comes to a lot of things. Because when you're thinking in terms of, I want to live, I don't want you to breathe on me, because if you breathe on me, I could die. You don't have a time to be thinking, man, I need to get them draws. Like that. No. That'd be the last time you get some too? Nah, I'm good. You were like, man.
But guys are out here so thirsty now for it.
That's the other aspect of what happened from COVID. Men lost their damn minds. Mm-hmm. They were just stuck in because, again, I've had those moments. I have been up at night when I was single, just slobbering all over myself. Just can't. Nothing. There's nothing out there. It's a dry spell. I can't do nothing. All the old regulars, they with somebody. I ain't going down there to pay for it because I can get arrested. So you in this house just in there. God, I feel it. It's in my back. And that in those moments, I still wasn't compromising. Like, okay, I'll go back to that person who broke all my windows and tried to shoot at me because she's crazy in bed. Ooh, no. COVID is kind of like that for everybody. You know, COVID kind of, you were that one person you thought you wanted to be with. You were like, well, he was really great. You know, he did that thing that I like. Then you got to thinking, he breathes. He brings air goes in through his nose and out of his mouth. That's not the time. Like, no. Especially the way people were dying and still dying from COVID. That was not worth it. So after it, when things started to die down a little bit, you started to see how people started moving. And men, we still kept that, I gotta have it, oh my God, show me boobs, We kept that. Women didn't. Y'all were just like, I never did like him. Never did. I'd ask him to come over and bring me some coffee. He always brought me a Coke. I don't like Coke. He never clipped his toenails. Why did I let him in my bed ripping up my sheets with them toenails? He never clipped his toenails. He did that annoying thing where he picked a booger while we was watching a movie. I can't stand that dude. Like, yeah. Like, COVID was allowing you to just start talking out loud. You know,
Yeah.
even if you thought you were like, God, girl, I really need some. You was like, there were certain people you knew. You was like, I don't like his breath. It's not funky, but it always smells like chili powder, and I don't know why. I don't like chili powder. I don't like that. It's like you would say things like, you know, I don't like the fact that he has wax in his ears. I just don't like it. I don't know what it is, but every time he digs in his ear, he brings out a candle. I don't like that. Men, on the other hand, we got worse. We got worse. We had a list. You know, there's the top tier. I like her. She's great. She does that thing I like. And her sheets are soft. Can't call her COVID. And we went down the list, and when we got down to ain't that the girl that broke your car windows out? Ain't that the one that shot at your cat? Ain't that her? When we got down to there, we was like, oh God, I'll do it. Whatever, I'll do it. But then you go to her, and she's like, you know, you got that, you always keep broccoli between your teeth. There's always a piece of broccoli stuck between. I'm not going to do it to you ever again. Ever. I don't, nothing. Don't FaceTime me because you always have broccoli in your teeth. Like, y'all was knocking them off for the reasons y'all were giving off were beautiful. Beautiful. You never comb your hair. You know you got hair lice? One day you did something like this and lice fell off your shirt onto my couch, and I can't get hair lice out of my shirt. Like, I don't know. Women, y'all, when I say y'all was cutting them off at the kneecaps, it didn't matter. Y'all was giving them this work. You was like, remember that text message you sent me that one time? Remember that?
Yeah.
You're like, what text message? A text message. Remember you said something about one of my boobs being bigger than the other one? That's why my bra didn't fit right. Remember that? Yeah,
I just about had a guy do that. We had talked supposedly like 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. This was not that long ago, maybe a couple months. And he was like, yeah, you know, we just talked. And I was like, okay. And he's like, yeah, we talked for maybe a couple days. And that was it. And I was like, and then he's like frustrated with me because I don't remember him. And he sends me a picture and I'm like, if I didn't meet you in person, I mean, I don't know.
And I think that's what happened. When COVID happened, women got COVID clarity, men got COVID desperation. Because we would have, at one point during the pandemic, if it was a knot in a hole in a wall, it was warm, we were there. It was William Wallace. We was Braveheart. Women, on the other hand, y'all was getting rid of dudes for biscuits and pennies. Like, I don't like the way he chews with his mouth open. Like, y'all was cutting them off. Go ahead, Victoria. I'm sorry.
Mr. Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
What time is it?
It is. We have 15 minutes. Go ahead. Rapid fire. Rapid fire. We're gonna do rapid.
We can make it spicy tonight. Go ahead.
Oh no. You start this one off. We do rapid fire every week, ladies and gentlemen. So with our guest, Miss Laura Lemoon, we're gonna do some rapid fire. We're gonna make it spicy.
Okay, but we're not gonna start off spicy. We'll start off with my generic. Does pineapple go on pizza?
Yes.
Okay.
Favorite lazy day thing to do?
Is this directed at me?
Yes, you. You're rapid fire is the two of us asking you questions. That's what this is.
Okay. So, what's my favorite lazy day thing to do?
Yes.
Read.
Go
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Yes, she does have a dog. Underwear or thong?
Thong.
Dun 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 dun.
Spicy
fantasy would like to live out that you haven't.
What was that?
Your spicy fantasy that you would like to live
Oh, I've done everything spicy already, so I think it would be like The Notebook, like having sex in the rain and all romantic and stuff.
I've done that. It's overrated. Plus, I got pneumonia. I ain't even trying to hear that.
Oh no.
Yes, I did. I got a nasty case of pneumonia, but I digress.
Oh.
Say something that a man could say to you that will automatically close up shop. Everything dry. You go from a juicy steak to the Sahara. Like, bam! Like, I'm done. I don't even. Why are you still here? What would make you turn into that?
Oh God, there's so many things, but I voted for Trump. He said that would make you go dry, right?
Like bone dry, yeah.
Bone dry, yeah.
The sound of them breathing.
Are you still over there talking and breathing? I don't want to talk to you. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's my turn.
Yes,
I think.
It is your turn.
Celebrity crush, male, female, or area.
1990s, early 90s Brad Pitt, or like Legends of the Fall Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Of course.
Or
rips off, and he tips
what's
his
that?
hat. When he tips his hat.
Oh, heck yeah.
I knew the water was coming. I knew it.
Female celebrity.
Oh. I can't think of anybody. I know I'm going to think of somebody as soon as I get off here. I'm going to have to text it to Thomas. This is my person.
Wait a minute. I was thinking about it. It was Charlie threw it on. Like, duh. Ain't a crush. That's what comes with the damn picture.
Oh, I know. Cardi B. Cardi B is my crush. I love Cardi B.
What was the reason?
What was the reason for Cardi B being her crush?
No.
Because she's loud and opinionated and sassy, and she was a former sex worker, and she's gorgeous.
Oh, I love it. But isn't she the one that says, what was the reason? But what was the reason?
No. Yeah, I think that is her, but she's more famous for WAP. And no, we cannot say what that stands for on the radio. But everybody knows what WAP is.
I love Megan Thee Stallion, too. She's another crush of mine.
Megan. Woo! Y'all gonna have me over here crying. Longest and best relationship?
That would be my most recent boyfriend. It was probably like a year. But he was a really good guy. He was a dork. He was a super dork. He worked as a teacher helping disabled children. And so he was the sweetest guy.
See, it's usually those guys. I'm trying to tell you. Hey, alpha men, if you're listening, you're not going to get a woman by, lifting the back end of a truck or, eating raw meat or having a damn wolf tattoo. Do something dorky, like, I don't know. Hey, you want to come over and watch Naruto? I come over and watch Naruto. I'm just saying that there's the 2022 panty dropper watching Naruto. Your turn, Victoria.
Who's in your CD player right now or your music menu?
Well, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion.
She lives it.
Let's see. I think some like 90s R&B. So a whole bunch of different people. I listened to, remember Blackstreet No Diggity? That song was so good.
Oh my God. Who doesn't remember No Diggity? Like,
I miss on and the Diggable Planet.
Ooh. Diggle planets? You went all the way back there.
I'm old, Thomas.
I know. You're a couple of months older than me. Stop it.
I know.
Let's see. Since I asked the one thing that'll turn you off, the one thing that a man could do that you would just melt, and it can be sexual, it can be non-sexual. The one thing a man can do where you just become a puddle of Laura Lemoon, what would it be?
Well, I think something like, oh, I teach children with disabilities is like, oh my God. You are like compassionate and sweet and you think of other people and oh my God.
I'll just get naked right here. I'll just go ahead and get naked right here. Do you want me on the bed, the couch, or the kitchen? But I just told you I work with disabled children. I know. And I'm going to get naked now.
You want to be on top or do you want me to be?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I totally get it.
Of course. I mean, again, this is what a lot of these alpha dudes forget. They keep acting as though they can alpha their way into a woman's heart. Women don't want that dude no more. The big meat guy. I'm the world's strongest man. I gotta like nobody want that.
But for me, I have to be a priority. He has to show me that I am a priority to him.
Of course.
And they just don't because, hell, most days I'm not a priority to my damn self. So how am I going to be a priority to somebody else? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're married to a nurse. We fill from an empty cup all the time. Somebody else.
Yes. And
right.
It's one of the most lovingly annoying things about the woman that I am married to, that she is the do-it-yourself, I'll do for everyone. And I'm like, babe, could you come here? Let me do for you. I don't need it.
Cake or pie?
Oh, pie.